Hello, my name is Lewis and this is my audio commentary for my title sequence. This first shot was an idea that came to me right at the end of shooting the entire production. I had all the shots that I wanted but nothing to open with. I've got a few friends that have done a bit of stop motion before and they mentioned that it was that they really enjoyed it, so I thought it would be quite a good idea to open with, and I'm glad that I did because I really enjoyed doing the stop motion. This shot took 38 photos to create. Once I put them all into Premiere, I realised I could do the same with the titles, and then I used that throughout the entire sequence. I chose to do a cooking show because I really enjoy cooking, and my family wanted to help with my work, so I got them involved. I used my mum's kitchen to shoot the entire shoot. I had planned on using my own kitchen, but that didn't go to plan, so I went with a backup plan for this. The stop motion took me about half an hour to create, as it took a little while to set everything up for the shots that I wanted. The camera was set up in a room with very low light, and that caused a few issues. To create the stop motion, I set the camera up on a tripod, I centered it with the table, and then I took a few shots to see what it looked like. I then placed the cutlery on the table, took a shot again to see what it looked like, see if there's anything that needed changing. And I found out that I had to set them up in perspective to the camera so that everything looked equal, but in reality the things further away from the camera were set at a slight angle so that they appeared straight on the table. After the stop motion, I used a slow pan to open just to give a view of the whole kitchen, and I knew that it'd be a good place to add more titles. And all the footage was shot using a Canon 60D with an ISO at 400, a shutter speed of 50 and an f-stop of 5.6. Because there was such low light in the room and I didn't have any extra cameras, almost all the shots in this sequence had to have the exposure fixed during the edit. It was increased by probably about 50% in the edit. Looking back on this, I should have probably gone with a lower shutter speed or maybe a higher ISO, but the footage looked a little bit grainy when I did that. I also increased the vibrancy of some of the colours, especially when the peppers were being cut, because nobody really wants to eat food that looks dull. I used the tripod to get all of the stationary shots to zoom in on the action of the food being prepared. I also used a little bit of freehand footage on the mixing bowl. I did take a lot more shots freehand, but I wasn't pleased with the outcome, as quite a lot of it was a little bit too shaky for what I wanted to use. With the titles, I typed out full titles, and I used a mask to hide the other letters until they needed to be shown, or in some cases full words. So that they appeared instantly, I applied the mask to the full title clip and then dragged the title clip to the length that I wanted. I then went to the next letter that was going to appear, and I was using the stop motion photos as reference, and they appear every 6 frames. So every 6 frames I would cut the title sequence. I would then go to the next section of the title sequence, move the mask along again, and then add another cut, and I did this until the full title was shown. I really enjoyed doing that because it taught me a little bit about how to animate text and how you can get different effects that I wasn't quite aware of, or I wasn't aware of how they were created. And with the text as well, I had to add a drop shadow, as I wanted to use white for the title colours because it's nice and clean and it goes with a cooking show. But because the room that I shot everything in my mum's kitchen, her kitchen is white and blue, as you can see, and the text didn't show up on that, so I added a black drop shadow to it, just so that you can see the outline of the text. I didn't put it too far away and I didn't make it very big, but I think it just makes the text pop out quite nice. And for the music, I searched for like old retro music on YouTube that I thought would fit, but I wanted something that wouldn't only fit with the theme of the show, but that would fit with the animations as well. So it didn't take me too long to find that. It took me about half an hour to find that. And all in all, I think the whole production, well, not the whole production, the editing itself took me about 3 to 4 hours to put all this together. The production of like shooting everything, I did that over 2 days, and it probably took me around about 6 to 7 hours to get everything done. But in the end, I'm quite happy with the result, and I'm quite happy with my first attempt of stop motion.